another one. Straight up. Blackness, aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop.
This is attorney Lelon Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Mr. Watts, he is armed himself shots. Shots, watch it, tear gas. Live rounds. Also, I can see that.
Everyone is a boxer, man. Why can't you put in a boxer, man, to do that? But I want since my cousin dead, no, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? No, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me now.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to you.
Right? Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If you didn't do a protest, you want to see nobody for justice. You see? I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family. I get visitors all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you all get visitors. This is Joker. Who is that Joker? That piece of plum. They know who the dealer with you know.
Source.
Okay, well,
Maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you, or it could be just a fictitious thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jerome?
So my relationship, nothing. He's a tenant in my place. Yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes. He is a friend of ours. His father was here from many years ago.
I'm sure his father was there for many years ago. Good evening. My name is Mark Benshaft. We're going to rock and roll this evening. Look, we have lots of things we want to talk about, right? And we can go until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's okay. We have the energy. We have the energy to fight back. You know what I mean? You notice how I do my hands up and, in Guyana, fight back. They don't like that. They don't like when we stand up. They don't like when we speak back to them. Is that when they speak, they're the only bunch of bullies who can speak. And we must just tremble, we must tremble like a pussy cat. And, no, we are afraid to speak. We can't. No, at no point in time should we be afraid to speak. At no point in time should we be afraid to stand up for our rights. At no point in time should we be afraid of protest and all these manner of things. We should not be afraid of these things. And they could just go into communities, take a cast net and catch some of the individuals, you know who those individuals are, right? And then make it appear that they are going to put those individuals to drive fear into the community, Linda. Borbies, wherever in Georgetown. Do not be afraid of those individuals. They are pussycats. All of them, including that one that was at Babujan yesterday. All of them. They're pussycats, Jack Deere knows he's a pussycat. I didn't know that, mind you. Hey, we're in radio, right? Guess what? My name is Mark Benshaw. Thank you guys for sharing the link. We're going to rock and roll this evening. As soon as you see a trench crapple, please bring that to the attention of Lemon, and we're going to throw them into the trench right away. We're not going to tolerate any sort of fight back overs because they come, and their manner of fighting back, guess what it is? Their manner of fighting back is the F word, the S word, and Ben Job drops soap in jail, and they're not looking at Jack. They're dropping soap at the office of the president, or you find they're doing it at Freedom House or wherever. That's all they can talk about. If they come with constructive engagements, they want to talk, they want to debate, we can do that. But we are not going to allow any distractions. But here's what you're going to do, though. Go out there, ensure that you share the links of these shows. Share the link, be part of the discussions. Don't just go into discussions when it's just a bunch of, comical stuff. I know you guys, we all got to joke around sometimes, don't get me wrong. But hey, let me just do this quickly. Golden Grove, the people at Golden Grove. Keep in mind, look what's happening. Institute for Action Against Discrimination Institute for Action Against Discrimination. They're having a meeting at Golden Grove Community Center on the east coast of Demerara, and that is Saturday. This coming Saturday, April 1st, from 1600 hours. Guess what? Lincoln Lewis is going to be there as a speaker. Lelon Saul is going to be there. All the speakers are going to be there, and we will carry it live. Well, we should carry it live. These things we want to carry live right here on Ben Shop Radio, the radio station for the people. Because here's where we speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And guess what? Coming up on the Sunday now, so it's going to be a packed weekend. It's like I have no rest. What's going on here, guys? All right, so these guys, oh my gosh, good to see them. They're now having public meetings. This is good. Town hall meeting. This is good. We're finally going to have them saying something. Those who have been silent are now going to say something. All right, good. Guess what? I want to carry this live too, right here on 107.1 FM. They're Region 10. Voices of the people in Region 10. Oh, Region 10 does have a mayor. She will be at that town hall meeting. They do have a deputy mayor. He will be at that town hall meeting. The regional chairman, Mr. Darren Adams, is going to be there too. And then they have the vice chair, and then they have the two members of parliament. Figueroa is going to be there. But look, wait a minute. Lemon, remove that. Guess who is going to be there? Mr. Sears is going to be there too. But it should be interesting. We will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM because we've got to keep countering the narratives of these individuals. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most fraudster of them all? Who? What did the mirror say? Look at this guy. This guy was the guy who's talking, when I look into the mirror, we know exactly what he sees whenever he looks into the mirror, right? We know exactly what he sees when he looks into the mirror. And I can't believe these guys, who are their speech writers? Who are the speech writers to these guys? But when I look into the mirror, boom. When I look into the mirror, who write these guys' speeches, man? Seriously, can somebody say something? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest fraudster of them all? Ooh, what did the mirror say? I don't know. Hey, good evening to all of you guys. My name is Mark Benjap, and welcome to Straight Up. We are going to rock and roll this evening. Look, let me bring to you guys attention while we prepare to have former Guyana Defense Force officer, Lelon Saul. That's not his only position. He was the former chief executive officer of the Central Housing Authority, I believe it is, and Mr. Saul can correct me, but I know he was a Guyana Defense Force officer. And Jack Dale and Mark Phillips have a Guyana Defense Force officer. He's going to be on with us. He's going to be talking with us about this event that's coming up. But not only that, I want to find out what else is on the mind of Mr. Lelon Saul. We will also be joined by veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis. In the meantime, share the link. But good, here. If you can identify something here in this picture, guess what? You get to win something, and not a button that says fight back, because we've got to continue to fight back, you know, and in fighting back, hopefully very soon, the opposition would file a motion of no confidence against Irfan Ali for violating the Constitution. Exactly. Don't sit and wait for Anil Nandalal to do it. He's not going to do it, because if Article 94 provides, and it quotes here, the president may be removed from office if he or she, in this case it's a he, albeit illegal, but they're there, if he or she commits any violation of this Constitution or any gross misconduct, the procedure for removing him or her is prescribed by Article 180 of the Constitution. No confidence motion. Come on. Just throwing that over to the opposition MPs and the leader of the opposition. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen. But quickly, before we get our guest, we're not seeing Mr. Lincoln Lewis as yet. Can somebody send him a quick message? We're waiting for him in studio. We've got to rock and roll with the show. But this here, I know we have lots and lots of smart folks on this show. If you can identify what's happening here, let me know. All right. So Lincoln is having some technical problems, but hopefully we will be joined by Mr. Lincoln Lewis. What do you see here? Take a look at it. Roberto Gonzalez, ¿cómo está? Buenas noches, mi amigo. What do you see here? What do you see here in this photograph? All right. Look, we don't have much time to waste because our guest is at the back. Somebody said they've seen KKK. Somebody seen the C3 worried IDIOTS. Luckily, some Roberto Gonzalez is saying, telling who VP, the illegal VP. Somebody said GS telling him what to say. Somebody said they see Curly, Larry, and Mo. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. But here is it. On a serious note, I've got to bring Lelon Saul on, former Guyana Defense Force. Somebody says separate PM. Look. Take a good look, take a close look at the mala. Do you guys know what mala is? Well, the mala is the big stuff they have around their necks. Look at Jagdish's mala. Look at the design of Jagdish's mala. And look at the design of Irfan Ali's mala. And then take a look at Mark Phillips' mala. Do you guys see any difference there? What do you guys see? This is not nitpicking on little things. What do you guys see? Obviously, you can't see three wise men. Huh? Who is this? But three wise. Get out of here. Come on. Lemon, do the right thing. Three wise men? Oh, come on, man. We're not dealing with no distraction here, but three wise men. They get three kudumunus and you're saying three wise men? Get out of here. But seriously, look at the mala. Look at, and we have Mr. Lelon Saul right here. We're going to get into it, though. Mr. Saul, we'll get to Mr. Saul shortly. Look, all the names, we're seeing it. But look at Jagdish's mala. Look at Irfan Ali's mala. And then take a look at Mark Phillips, right? It looks, obviously, the designs for Irfan and these guys. Come on, guys. Let's use appropriate words here, right? Let's not get homophobic or homophobic here at all. Let's not do that. It's not going to be tolerated. This is not. I know how you guys feel, but this is not this kind of. We just don't accept that sort of thing here at all. But let's go here. He is the only one. Mark Phillips is the only one with a plain mala, While we look at the designs of these guys, you see the difference? You see how they're treating him, right? They just take something quick, and dash it wrong in neck. That is the difference. Some may say, oh, it's a small something. Oh, Ben Chap is paying. No, it's not. It's not at all. But anyways, good evening. Let's move on with our show this evening. We have former Guyana Defense Force officer Lelon Saul is with us this evening. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Mark. I am good.
All right. Good to see you back here again. I know you're no stranger to us here on 107.1 FM. So good to have you back with us. How have you been, sir?
I'm doing fairly okay, and I think most of my energies are concentrated to address the whole issue, the issue of discrimination in this country. And so we have been doing a lot of work recently.
All right, we'll get into some of the work that you guys have been doing recently and so forth and so on. Lots of discrimination. And for folks who are probably now joining us, this is an organization that Mr. Lelon Saul is a member of, a senior member, a founder, and so forth, along with Lincoln Lewis and others. You guys have an event coming up at Golden Grove that is this Saturday, and we will carry it live. But before we get back to this, sir, lots of discrimination. And we are hearing members of the regime, particularly Irfan Ali, who is saying that he and his government is so-called government, they're going to stamp out racism and all manner of things. But as soon as they got installed into office, over 3,000 plus public servants were sent packing. And the majority of those public servants were persons of African descent. We see the sort of discrimination of cash grant, the COVID cash grant. People are still thousands of people are still waiting with their pink slips. We saw how they bypassed predominantly African Guyanese communities and so forth. Things are not hunky-dory in that country, but yet Irfan Ali is saying that they are going to stamp out racism. What exactly is that guy talking about, sir?
I am not certain what the president is speaking about, because daily we are confronted with several cases of discrimination and racism. And if he's going to stamp out racism, definitely he needs to address the philosophy of the party that he leads. A matter of fact, it's Jagdeo, and that is what they need to address. Not only cash grant. When we look at the award of public contracts, we look at the execution of public works across communities, communities that did not voted for the PPP. We know how they're being treated. And even when you look at the visit, that visit to Victoria, and when you listen to the issues that people were raising, there are small issues like roads and bridges and drainage and so on. And so I asked myself, what is happening? And there you see a lot of dysfunctionality with the governance system at all levels. And I would want to believe at the local government level, and I speak here about the NDC, that those issues would have been escalated at the RDC level and onto central government. But you know what? They did not address them. And so there was a visit to Victoria, and the whole intention is to give the idea like if the NDC is incompetent, but they do not give the NDC the resources. And that, I think I heard the Prime Minister was saying local government is coming, you know what to do, right? But they're not giving the people the resources, And so if they allow the local government system to work and function how it ought to function, it means that central government will not have to come down and deal with some of these basic issues like a bridge or clean a trench or anything like that. We all look at the NDC throughout all the local government bodies. They're basically starved for resources.
Lots of resources, Mr. Lelon, Saul. We even have a comment by the Honorable Member of Parliament, Nina Flu-Best, out there. And Nina Flu-Best is saying, the Member of Parliament, and you guys would know her from the Maka situation, always fighting for her community and even outside of that. So kudos to you, Honorable Member Nina Flu-Best. She's saying the monies they took away from Ipadaji. But earlier, Ms. Best also alluded to this here, that discrimination against NDCs controlled by APNU AFC, where they're starving them of the funds. And this is what I say, if they're starving with the funds, you guys got to fight back, Ms. Nina Flu-Best. I know you're doing a lot, and congratulations to what you're doing out there for the people of Mocha and even beyond. But you guys got to fight back the taxpayers' money. But continue, Mr.
I want to make a point. I think it was in October. The president visited Lelon.
And when you speak of the president, not the president of the Guyana Human Rights Association or the Guyana Horse Racing Association, or the president, because you know how my audience sounds. We're like a family here, and we sit at this dinner table, and it doesn't sound nice when we hear this thing about president, when in fact.
So he visited Belgium.
Yeah. So you're speaking of Irfan Ali?
Yeah, I'm speaking about him.
Yeah.
And a request was made for them to address some issues there. I think the government is very much at ease when it comes to address small issues. And anything that will make a community sustainable, they do not address it. I personally would have requested of them to clear some farmland. And that was in October. And now we are almost in April. And they did not address the issue. Adding to that, the
So
MMA.
when you ask them to address an issue, they are the oppressors. Do you think the oppressors want to see the oppressed being empowered? Were you expecting them to do sir?
Let us put them to the test. They claim that they're not discriminating, and here I have the evidence to support that you are discriminating, right? So if you don't ask, they will say that you never ask. So I decide to request of them.
Why should people have to ask?
Well, that is the next thing too. We should not. I believe.
For 1 second, Mr. Saul, why should people have to beg? Any government that's in office, and in this case, these people are there illegally, they've been installed. No one should have to beg. They're paying taxes. These things, they're required to go into Nabaclis, go at Whim, go at Maibikuri, go at Alice, go at Philippi, go at Linden, go at Ituni, and repair stuff and build stuff. That's what real governments do. Real governments don't call a meeting and get a bunch of people saying, oh, we drain clean, oh, we want this trench thing, and oh, we want this. It is called begging them, and that is what these Looney Tunes in the PPP love, to see a bunch of people that they're surrounded by, and everybody join a line, begging and begging for things to be done. These people are bandits, they're corrupt, and I don't know, but you beg them to do something and they haven't done it. You said since October, you beg them?
Well, I request of them to do it and they have not delivered. And even more than that, I was making a point where a government agency, that is the Myconia Bari Agricultural Development Authority, they would have appropriated some transported land at the back of El Dorado and Belgium. And I asked the government to address the issue. And I think they're dealing with the issue very flippantly. They have not addressed the issue because we want to be compensated. My thinking is that we should be given lands elsewhere. Of course, we don't want money. We will prefer to be given lands elsewhere. And so I just mentioned two major issues that we are dealing with. I want to come back to the issue of the way how government relates to the Neighborhood Democratic Council. I believe that if the system that work how it ought to work, you don't have to get a cabinet to go out in any village to sit down and listen to small issues. I need a drain clean or I need a bridge fix. I think it's a waste of time. And it is because they're undermining the authority of these bodies. They don't want them to function, especially those that are controlled by the opposition. They don't want those bodies to function.
Because they don't, that is where we got to force them. We just can't sit down and say they don't want it to be. The residents got to come out and demand.
Mark,
demand, sir.
I agree with you.
But
and that is why I've said, when it comes to this whole issue of discrimination and poor governance, that we need to be more aggressive. We have to mobilize and be more aggressive, and we have to fight.
3 years. We've had almost 3 years.
We have to escalate our actions. Maybe you start off making simple requests, and if they do not respond, then you apply more pressure and more pressure and more pressure.
But we need to see more pressure on the ground. We're seeing pressure on these sort of shows. This is where we're seeing the pressure and so forth. Let's go to a comment, and it looks as though Mr. Lincoln Lewis is having some problems at all. Let us go to Timolin Ben. Timolin Ben from Philippines. Philippines on the quarantine had a 4x4 center, which is non-existent. And when we tried to get it done during the coalition government, the former VC had his family file a lawsuit against the CDC and the NDC. That matter is still in the court. Philippines, the people of Philippines, forget about a couple of PPP in the area and a couple of touts and so forth. Timberland Ben, I'm giving you the authority tonight to get that protest going. If you got to break down whatever you got to break down, and if they take you at Wim Police Station, we get bail for you. We get bail for you. All right? Good. Let's not get the excuses going. But go ahead, Mr. Saul.
Yep. So the point I was making is that we need to be more aggressive with our actions and our protests. We just cannot be speaking all the time, because I believe that the PPP respond very promptly whenever there is some measure of aggression against poor governance and discrimination. If you just speak and you talk, nothing will happen. And I look, Mark, I know that people want things to be done in their community, and so sometimes when the government official go there, they receive them with open arms. But I think they should chase them out. I'm telling you that they're not worthy of coming into people's community because they don't deliver. Right? I'm an advocate to chase them out. Right? Whenever they come, simple. And so they can get the message.
Have they ever come to your community? I know you said you went to them since October.
Yeah, they were in my community, and I personally had wanted to give them a chance to see what they will do.
But you didn't chase them. You had an opportunity to chase them out, Mr. Saul. No. You had that opportunity.
I agree with you, Mark. But
you want to give them an opportunity to hear what they have to say, and then you're saying to others who might be saying the same thing.
Because
that they want to give them an opportunity, but yet you're saying to those other people to chase them out. You had that opportunity right in your own backyard to chase them out, but you didn't.
Mark, I give them a chance to see if they will deliver, and they have not delivered. That's if I recognize they're frauds.
So now you're saying to other people, other community, to just chase them out.
Yeah, because they have not delivered.
They're not delivered for you in your community.
Yes, they did not deliver. They did not deliver the thing that can make the community sustainable. They will come and give you a football or find a few slave catchers and give them something, and they're comfortable with that.
I got you. Chase them out indeed. Nothing is wrong with chasing them out. But you know what I'm tired of? People within the community, taxpayers, just feel that they got to beg these Looney Tunes in office. Beg them to build a bridge. Oh, are you come and build a road now? Are you come and build this now? I mean, you got to beg these guys. Nobody wants a government of which they have to beg. Look at this. The people. Are you okay, Mr. Saul?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want you to feel like we're chasing you out of here. We're not going to chase you out of here, sir. But look, people got to beg for these things. This is $1 million bridge, I'm sure, almost. Why should people have a government, whether they've installed that government or not? Because that is not democracy. Anyone who's elected, say, for example, I become the president of the Cooperative Republic of, oh gosh, speak that into reality, right? Just in case, or you are the president. You are the president, or Wayne, or Aliyah, or Patricia, or Yvonne, or anyone except Conrad August. He can never be president. He probably be Minister of Housing or something. Do you think we should sit in our offices, and apart from doing research like some of these guys in the opposition, do you think we should sit in our offices and wait for people to come and stretch their hands out and beg? Oh, we want a tractor. Oh, we want something to help dig the drains at Philippi or Alnis or Manchester or Wim or wherever. That is not a good government. Those are gangsters in office. And these PPP guys are gangsters in office, Mr. Saul. That's not democracy.
I want to make a point, and at the NDC level, I think one of the greatest challenges they're confronted with is that whenever the NDC put forward its work program,
Before,
government.
just stick a pin there. Let's go back to Philippines. Here's a comment from Timilin Yearwood Ben. I don't know if she's addressing this guy, this gangster, minister of whatever he is, Robeson Ben, as and Chacha Dildo was at Wellington Park. That's Wellington Park is a village after Philippi is Cromarty, then Wellington Park, if you're going further east on the quarantine. So they were at Wellington Park Primary, and I went to Wellington Park Primary many years ago. Gosh, memories. And she is saying, Timberland is saying, that she personally asked Chacha Dildo to fix the light on the public road. They are still waiting for the lights to be fixed. Again, no, residents should not be begging for these things. But they have had 20-something years to fix things. They haven't fixed it. It was a coalition who went in there and fixed a lot of things, including lights on the quarantine, the entire stretch of the number 19 road, and so forth and so on. I'm not going to interrupt you again, sir. Make your point.
Yeah, no. The point that I want to make, what you find, and I know this for profit risings on NDC, and I guess it is common in most of the NDC. The NDC will put forward its work program, and then the regional authority or central government will decide which road they're doing. And in most cases, or which drain will be dug. The NDC has no input in it. They don't consult with the NDC. All that they would see that a contractor turn up executing a project. And sometimes that particular activity does not generate the greatest benefit for the greatest number of persons. And we have to change that. And so that's why I keep saying the entire governance system that the current cabal embrace, it is not good. You know, all that they concentrate on is satisfying a few persons or those who are affiliated to them, and they're least concerned about others. So you have this whole issue of discrimination.
Lots of discrimination, sir. Lots and lots of discrimination. Look at what happened in Israel. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said that he's going to reform the judicial system, where they want full control of decisions made by the judiciary, and that the parliament would have the power to basically decide on the final ruling if they're not satisfied with the ruling of the judiciary, so forth and so on. And so they have mass protests right now in Israel. The army and all these people, they are protesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu stays in power for the next 48 hours. But all we have been doing from a Guyanese standpoint, nobody wants to bell the cat. Nobody wants to bell the cat. Everybody is talking. Everyone is saying. Some are not talking. Some suddenly don't believe in protests. Some wants to be strategic and we got to this and that or whatever. They don't want protests. But look at the people in Israel. Nobody's condemning them. They're burning roads. All manner of things happening there in Israel. But yet in Guyana, for 3 years now, all we're hearing is this, the regime, this and that, and discrimination, economic genocide. Of course it's a fact. Apartheid and persecution. Every day they're doing these things. But nobody belling the cat. Nobody's belling the cat. That country should have been shut down already. This illegal regime should have been out of office already and fresh elections called so that we can have a real democratically elected government in office. Nobody's belling the cat. No one, Mr. Saul.
Mark, you have to take into consideration the political socialization of our people. We live in a country that is divided or deeply divided along racial lines.
In 1997, thousands of people hit the streets.
Yeah.
Thousands of people right there.
While I agree with you, and there's an X factor that we must take into consideration. Many of the people who are affected by what is going on there is this fear. I don't know they have a fear. And so they
If we
do
keep
not.
repeating this fear, there is no fear. Our leaders are the ones who are talking about this
Well,
fear.
I look, no, I'm just highlighting all the factors to you, right? So you have that, we have to look at the socialization of the people, the fear. Some people are
In
just taking up with
2012, the
basic
people of Linen,
survival
in
issue.
2012, in
I'm getting
2012,
to all the point.
in 2012, the people shut down Linden. They didn't have any fear.
I'm getting to the point,
Hear what I'm going to do.
right? And
Hear what I'm
then,
going to do. Hear what I'm going to do. Go ahead.
right? Of course, leadership also. You need that kind of leadership that can motivate people and bring them out. And the next issue, though, well, it come back to fear. So I would have highlighted four things there, right? One, leadership on the part of those who are adversely affected. We look at the socialization of our people, the fear, and then you have people are basically concerned about survival, the basic issue. They even don't have that time to go there and protest. But among those four factors that I gave you, the most important is leadership. We cannot run away from that. And so you need that leader or that leadership structure that can mobilize the people and motivate them. Let them understand what is at stake so they can take to the street and they can fight for that change that they want to see. We cannot continue to live like this. We must have that change and we have to fight for it. In every bloody street, in every village, in every ward, in every town.
What we're seeing now in Israel, that sort of protest action, it didn't come from leadership. It came from the people. The people decided that that is wrong. One minister got fired and the people took to the streets. They didn't wait for no leader to say, come on, guys. The people took to the streets. In 1997, we saw thousands of people all across Georgetown. In 2012, we saw thousands of people shut the mining tongue of Linden down, shut the bridge down, shut the entire mine. It wasn't fear then. It wasn't fear then. We got to stop with this being fearful stuff. When the PPP hit the streets and they burn up tires and they do all sorts of things at Bath settlement and so forth, they weren't concerned about fear or leadership. They went out on the streets. I'm not saying people should just go like madmen and women out in the streets and burn up stuff. I'm not saying that at all. But people should exercise their constitutional right by taking to the streets and saying enough is enough. But what we have this intellectual discourse of things and fear and where it's coming from and what we've got to do. I don't know. I'm just getting impatient, sir. But go ahead. Not impatient with you, mind you.
I know. The bottom line is that what you would have witnessed in 1997 or in Linden, right? Whether it was spontaneous or not, there was some level of leadership there. Whether it comes out of the masses or some formal structure. And so if you're going to take people outside there must be some form of leadership structure there so you can give people direction, and you don't want things to go crazy outside there and people lose their lives stupidly, because we know what we are dealing with. All right. And we have to be purposeful.
All right, so we just got to be purposeful. We got to be responsible. We got to sit down and we got to strategize. Whenever that, we just got to strategize. I was watching this stuff out in Israel at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock this morning. I'm up early. I'm watching it. And I saw army officers. I saw military folks out there in the streets talking and standing up for their rights. We don't see that in Guyana.
Yeah, because the people, unlike Guyana, the Israelis, they understand what is at stake.
Guyanese
You
don't
know,
understand what is at stake. Billions of dollars.
I
The
don't see.
discrimination, the persecution.
Oh, Mark,
We're not saying
you know, it's not an insult to our people, but I think many of them really do not understand what is at stake. And then we have some who are very self-serving. They're benefiting. Hey, I catching something. Why should I be bothered? Right? And so we have our society and it's just decaying, and we just sit back and we allow the cabals to make mess
I
out
know
of
some
us.
of us. I'm not going to sit back and allow anybody to nothing. I noticed there's a Curtis Lutchman say, Mark, you should come to Guyana and lead us on the front line. I've been there, and there are many a times when I look around. It's either I'm alone or Lincoln Lewis, Norris Witter, Lincoln Lewis, Norris Witter,
Freddie Kissoon?
soon, and that's it. And a few others. That's it. So you guys got that opportunity to get into power in 2015. Throw all of us on the wayside. And now you guys are out of office now. And Curtis want Mark to lead. To lead. To lead. I mean, I'm not. If I was in Guyana, it would have been a different story with Jack Dale and the PPP. And I'm not talking with water in my mouth. It would have been a different story. But I'm not there. Let those who are there, let those who are elected or selected, let those who are being paid to do what they're doing, let them do what they're doing. Let former GDF officer Lelon, Saul, and others, let them take the lead now. I've had my years of service, so to speak. Mr. Saul, we heard of Jack Dale now being so presumptuous. Is Mark Phillips by your gate? Because I hear some dogs barking there. You got to be careful, Yeah. So, at least you have a sense of humor. This guy is talking about capturing stronghold of the opposition, the PNC, and so forth. How presumptuous can somebody be, even with all the discrimination, the evidence of discrimination throughout the country, Mr. Saul?
I don't know what Jack Leo is speaking about. Apparently, these guys are so insensitive that not really insensitive. They just don't care. They take people for granted, given the level of discrimination. He somewhat believes that he can capture Georgetown, New Amsterdam, and Linden. I really don't know if people are that backward and ignorant and they don't know what is going on in this country that they are going to support a regime that is oppressing them. And one of the most racist government we have experienced in this country since 1953 is the current government. And I don't see how that is possible. And I just remember today someone sent me a poster, a flyer in the New Jersey area. And the government is going out there. They're encouraging Guyanese who have children that were born in the United States to get registered. I can share the flyer with you. And I questioned myself, I asked why. Why similarly they are not asking Guyanese who die overseas in that state to register the deaths. And so we have to understand what they're trying to do. So register that person apparently, and I'm quite certain that name, that name is of age, it might appear on the National Register of Registrants. So we have to be very vigilant, and try to understand what is going on in this country and the desire to maintain power at all costs and to control every.
The people don't have to try to understand what's going on, sir. The people already know what's going on. Even the smallest child in the street.
I am not, Mark, sometimes when you like I want to share something with you, and that is why I say that, because every now and then I come across people who are not that well informed. There was one young lady said, "You know what? I am a PPP. Why you are a PPP? Oh, I do catering and they give me two catering work, and so I become a PPP. Oh, you know, and so I wonder, perhaps people are so impoverished
And
that
too
when you
many
give them
excuses for
little
what people are.
things,
The people are not impoverished. The people know exactly what needs to be done. We
you
can sit
know,
down and talk and find all the excuses and so forth and so on. They know exactly what needs to be done. In fact, the PPP supporters know what they should do. And when they are in the opposition, they do what they believe is the right thing. But with the supporters of the opposition, always sit down on these shows and we talk. And that's why, Jack, they're laughing, even though they're feeling the squeeze from a PR standpoint, because they're not beating us there. Is that they know what to do physically. They did it at Albion, they did it at Bad Settlement, they did it at Man Repo. They do it all the time. They do it and did it in front of Pegasus. Speaking of Pegasus, this is what they do. But yet the opposition sits on shows and, oh, this cannot be done. But if we do this and if we go there and if we twist from back the side, we should just make a soca song out of that. If we go here, if we do this, if we do that, we'll be fearful of the people this and the... Mr. Saul, let us touch on something you and others have coming up this Saturday. What exactly, through this institution, it's a Institute for Action Against Discrimination.
yeah,
What exactly is this organization about, and you guys hope to achieve, sir?
Mark, the Institute for Action Against Discrimination began as a call for action in response to state-sanctioned discrimination and what we deem as the emerging apartheid state. And we intend to connect with people all over the world who share a desire for equal rights and justice. Our passion is driven by the discriminatory act being experienced by African Guyanese and those who do not support the People's Progressive Party. We were enraged by the attack on Ipadichi when the for Ipadichi was withdrawn.
So
And
you're not just enraged just by the attack of Ipadaji.
no,
What about the
not
attack?
that alone. There were several other things,
Yeah.
right?
Remember, 3+ thousands of mainly African Guyanese lost their
Right.
jobs, right? You got Jamal Aziz and his family, the butcher shop burned down. You got people are being
There were several things,
persecuted. And you guys just came into action as a result of Ipadaji alone.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
That is one of the things. The contracts, the dismissal of scores of workers, of African descent, the allocation of state lands and so on, the public procurement. We see how the contracts are being awarded. So those are the things that cause us to come into action, and we are committed to highlighting these cases. And of course, we intend to challenge the government. We hope that our action will bring about some positive changes. And so, what are the courses of action open to us? There are several. We will And I will say broadly, we will fight for justice, whether it's judicial, whether it's taking to the street and mobilizing people so we can get some real street protests, whatever it will take. We are prepared to do that. And I just want you to take comfort in that. And of course, we continue to inform international communities and governments around the world about what is going on in Guyana. On Saturday, we are going to have our second meeting at Golden Grove. And there will be some speakers: Lincoln Lewis, Royce Ford, Ganesh Maipal, Ricky Ramsarup, I think the mayor of Georgetown, Miss Robin Simon, and Maureen Philadelphia. So we have a packed program, and our theme is basically mobilize to combat discrimination and oppression, and that is the theme for that meeting. And the meeting will be held at the Golden Grove Community Center. And the police is not welcome because it's not open to the police, because in Belgium we had to ask them to leave. All right.
Okay.
Any other mark?
No, I just wanted to get a little glimpse as to what's happening with this organization, because I know that there are politicians overseas who, apart from being notified of these things and what's happening in the country, the main question they'll ask then, what exactly are the people doing about these things? They want to see action. So that maybe when the U.S. Embassy there, when they send their telegrams back to Washington and so forth, they're able to see that the people are fed up with what's happening in the country. But nobody's fed up about anything, just a few folks. People are just talking about, no new voters list, no elections, no nothing, but yet no action, just every Wednesday or every Tuesday. Nothing at all. And then going into the community to tell the people exactly what they already know. No action. I don't know. I just feel like just hopping.
No, I just want to make a point here. Sometimes it's very important that if we need constructive things to happen, sometimes you gotta break up things before you can build back, Mark.
And nobody wants to break up. I'm not saying that lots of things are happening there. People are being persecuted. I don't know.
And so when you look around the world to bring that change that you want, sometimes it results in destruction of property and so on. You look at what is going on in France, or you mention Israel, and you see what is going on.
One of the things, Mr. Saul, as Guyanese, right? We're quick to say, the people should be like what's happening in France. The people should be like what's happening in Israel. And nobody is saying what's happening in Guyana. 10 times worse things have happened in Guyana. But yet we always want to be like people in Israel.
If
something happens in Haiti, that there's a rise up in Haiti, or there's a massive protest in Haiti, look what's happening in Haiti. Look what's happening in Israel. But in Guyana, look what's not happening. But yet we sit, and every night we could sit down on these shows and talk about fear and the people that want to come out. And I don't know. I'm running out of patience. I'm being very
just have patience. These actions are progressive, and you have to understand that.
Okay.
And so it will take time, and it will gather steam, and the pressure will build up, and slow pressure, and it will build up.
Mm-hmm.
There will be an exponential increase in the pressure. And you have to understand that. Have patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We'll have patience. We will carry that event again. We will carry that event this Saturday. It starts at what is it, 4:30? We will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM to hear the speeches. I know most of the guys there who will be speaking don't believe in protests. They don't want no protests and these sort of things. We got to find ways to offer the people hope. The people want hope. That's all they look.
I agree with you, and we know, Mark, what the cabal respond to, and
do we
we
care
remember
about their
the
response
days.
already? No, to hell with them. The world will, this is social media. Everything will be
Right.
carried live. Everything. So if the police, if they want to behave silly, they got hundreds of cameras. People have their cameras. This is not like long time when they could do things and beat people and you're not seeing it. It will be carried live. It will be televised. I get what you're saying too, to some extent, Mr. Saul. But people,
No, the point that I want to make that the PPP only respond to pressure, and if we are going to be passive, nothing will happen, and we know that. And so, if we want to throw back and send and just talk and talk and talk, we will come under much more pressure.
somebody just said here along your lines, Annette Gordon from Maryland, USA. Mark, good things come to those who wait. God time is the right time. 400 years, our African ancestors who were enslaved were told, don't worry, just go back on the field and plant and do your stuff. And don't worry, if Massa slap you, turn the other cheek. And all manner of things. 400 years. But the Bible, what is it? Good thing comes to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late, Annette. Not for those who wait too late. We're looking at the time here, Mr. Saul. Of course, we are agreeing to disagree on some issues, but I know that you guys, this is a great initiative to at least start somewhere. The Institute for Action Against Discrimination, and you guys will be in Golden Grove area. People need to see fiery speakers too, speakers who are being oppressed, and then they go and surrender themselves to the oppressors. And
I can assure
I don't know.
we will not surrender ourselves to the oppressors, or I don't see any one of those speakers surrendering themselves to the oppressors. We will continue to fight, and as I said, you can be assured that our level of aggression will increase as we go along. You
Okay.
can take comfort in that.
I take a lot of comfort in a lot of things. I'm a strong guy. I sat in solitary.
You know,
I sat in solitary confinement for over 5
Mark,
years. Trust me.
what,
I understand. I have
Mark,
patience.
okay,
Yeah,
this is the
right.
battle. And you attack when the time is right. You have to know when and where to apply the pressure and how to apply it.
Well, I recall it was Kenny Rogers who said, you got to know when to hold them, right? Know when to love. Okay, all right. People have been waiting for a while. We're going to sit back. We're going to wait. Oh, Mr. Saul. Lieutenant, I should be calling you. Lieutenant? What is it? Lieutenant Saul?
No, man, you demoting me, man. I was a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel of the Guyana Defense Force.
Retired, right?
Retired
And,
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah.
Salute you for your service.
Yeah.
I
retire, but not my rank.
What should have been your rank? Okay. Got you. All right. Lieutenant Colonel Lelon Saul, this evening, your closing remarks, sir. Even in the face of all the discrimination, the Guyana being described as a little apartheid state, economic genocide, racial discrimination, political discrimination, all manner of things we're seeing, violation of the Constitution. Your closing remarks,
Mark,
Lieutenant Colonel.
I know the The litany of complaints is very long. You know what is going on in terms of the whole issue of governance. There's an absence of good governance. And then we have the issue of discrimination, the inequitable distribution of developmental benefits. And there are a lot of issues, but I want to assure the nation that we at the IAD will continue to fight until we have a change in the status quo. We cannot allow the situation to continue. And therefore, I ask of everyone to come on board. And I want to advise that we cannot continue to operate in this mode and be passive, even as we agitate for a better condition. At some point in time, we will need to be much more aggressive so we can bring enormous pressure to bear on the government and they will understand. And I'm talking about pressure here, like what you probably are viewing on your television screen, what is going on in Israel or in Paris in France. That type of pressure I'm speaking about. We cannot be passive. We have to step up. We have to be more aggressive. And so if you bring that pressure to bear, it's only then the ruling cabal will understand that what they're doing is really affecting you in an adverse manner. But if we just talk about it, they think it's okay. And then we embrace them when they come into our community. And, you know, I did point out about the dysfunctionality in the governance system and how they want to appear to be Santa Claus. They're not allowing the system to work. And so they come and they, oh, I want a bridge fixed, and they have to fix your bridge. We cannot continue to operate like that, you know. So I urge you to support us, and just be look out for us when we come into your community. You're welcome to come, but don't bring the police. We don't need any spying at our meetings. Our meetings are somewhat closed meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lelon Saul, retired Lieutenant Colonel of the Guyana Defense Force, now activist, one of the founders of this Institute for Action Against Discrimination. It's a good initiative. We just want to wish you guys all the best. And we really do wish you guys all the best. People are just in dire need of real action on the ground there. And I'm not just saying that because I am sitting here. People are just in dire need of help in that country. People need that country to be saved out of the jaws of these wicked and demonic individuals who are dividing every day, dividing the country, all in the name of this so-called, what is it? One Guyana garbage. Some people are just saying, hey, they appreciate Errol J. Lewis is saying the Lieutenant Colonel is talking the talk, and we need more folks to come out and not just talk the talk, but walk the talk, walk the walk as well. We will carry this event live right here on 107.1 FM. Thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, let's go to Lachmin Aziz. Good evening, Lachmin. Assalamu alaikum. Is saying we need action against discrimination for all coalition supporters, which is true. All coalition supporters, some are being obviously targeted as a result of their ethnicity, and some are being targeted as a result of their political affiliation. And we know that Ms. Lachmin Aziz, they have been a victim of this installed corrupt PPP regime. Mr. Lelon Saul, again, thank you so much for your time, and we'll carry this broadcast of this event on Saturday. Have a great rest of the evening, sir. And you know, Benchop Radio is always welcoming to you folks there at that new organization. Thank you, sir.
Good night. Good night to the viewers. Good night, Mark, and thank you.
Good evening. Yep. patient, Mark. Be patient. Please be patient, Mark. Be patient. Be patient, Mark. Calm down, Mark. Catch yourself, Mark. Calm down. All right, guys, I want to be back again. Let me apologize for Lincoln Lewis had some technical difficulties, but I will try to have Lincoln maybe on tomorrow because we need to hear from Mr. Lewis as well. Rhonda Lane, good evening to you. Brenda Lewis and all the other folks, good evening to all of you. I won't be able to call all of the names, but you know we are appreciative of the time that you take to come and watch or listen to the show. That said, you know, something will happen. Something will happen. I noticed the honorable member of parliament. We have Annette Ferguson is in the audience with us. When Annette appeared last week, she had promised to take a trip over to Mocha. I'm sure that sometime during the course of the week, maybe she will be in Mocha and send us some photographs and so forth. All right, quickly before we go, they have this event coming up in Linden that's going to be on Sunday, and we will carry it live right here. It's good to see that these folks are coming out now. We just don't need it once every 2 years. We need this to be, we need meeting, where is it that they're having this meeting? Region number 10 town hall meeting. It's a virtual roundtable. Oh, it's a virtual roundtable. Roundtable, right? Go in Kokwani and have that virtual roundtable. I thought this roundtable was you know, you go on one of those places out there and you meet the people, you sit down and you talk. And now I realize that this is a virtual roundtable. A roundtable, a virtual roundtable. Town hall meetings, virtual roundtable, man. Linden Small and a virtual roundtable. We need town hall meeting, a physical town hall meeting where the people get to ask questions, not just virtual town hall. But look, at least, you know, at least it's a start, right? At least it's a start. But the people in Ituni need to see their representatives. The people in Old England need to see their representatives. The people in Kokwani need to see their representatives as well. But I'll say the roundtable is a start, though. Right? All right, the no confidence motion should be somebody should file a no confidence motion against Irfan Ali for violating the Constitution. Would we see that? I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm getting out of here. This was the event yesterday at Babujan. People were afraid, ashamed. They didn't want people to take their photographs. And this young lady, as you can see, she said, I not take my picture, I not take my picture. Nobody wants to basically be seen with the PPP regime, except some of them guys, hustlers who just want to make a quick money, right? But all eyes are on them. And when I say all eyes, I really do mean all eyes are on them. All eyes. My name is Mark Benchap. I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Take a look in the mirror and you see exactly this, but I'll be back. I don't know how that popped up there. Thank you, though, Lemon. I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. God bless you and God bless our beautiful country. So long.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.